Today's show is sponsored by Profit Accumulator, the #1 match betting service in the UK. Match betting is different to gambling. With gambling, you bet on one side, and if that side loses, you lose. With match betting, you bet on both sides. That means no matter what the outcome, you're a winner. When you sign up to Profit Accumulator, they will walk you through the whole process of how to do match betting, and as long as you follow what they tell you, you cannot lose. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description right now for your free trial, and you can start earning some real cash. Hi, and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing podcast of my man DT in the building. How you doing, bro? Hope you're
right.
well. Video
good.
today, good. Video today brought to you today by Profit Accumulator. Remember to check it out in the description. You want to earn yourself some extra cash. They do a thing called match betting. It's not like gambling. It's more like you can't lose because they bet on both sides. You want to find out more details. The link is in the description. As I said, a chance to earn yourself a bit of extra cash, which we could all do with in January. And I've also got here our Profit Accumulator matchup for this week, right? DT, is a nice one for you. Matchup. Who would you go with right now? Pablo Mari or Gabriel?
Oh.
You can pick one. It's a good one, isn't it? Pablo Mari or Gabriel? Who starts?
It is a good one. Pablo Mari's been, very good since he came into the side, but Gabriel's still our best centre back. Yeah, he is. He is.
Pablo Mari. What I like about Pablo Mari, he's calm, relaxed. He's just like experience. It's like I like that about him.
Yeah, let's see what he's like after 6 months more of training with Mustafi. But at the end of the day, I look at Gabriel. 4 months have gone this season. He's one player of the month for 3 of them, and I think people are easily forgetting that he's a player that's come into a new league, new team, and everything else. And you're going to have little dips and moments along the way. And I suppose you could say that with the sending off that he got and everything else. It's part and parcel of, the job and the nature of it. But yeah, he's our best centre-back. And I think people are very easily forgetting that since he's been out. And, it's not knocking Pablo Mari and his performances because they've been good. But if I was to choose, my preference, then it would be Gabriel.
I was thinking about this, right? If, obviously, I'm looking at next year. And it is a very hard one to do because Gabriel has been excellent this season. And I love people out there in the comments. Let us know what you think. Pablo Mari or Gabriel. You can choose only one to start. Which one is it? I was thinking ahead, right? And I'm looking at next year. And I'm like, centre halves, once all the deadwood's gone, you'll have Holding, Saliba hopefully back, Mari, Gabriel. That's not bad, is it?
No, and I think there will be one more that we will look to buy in the summer as well. I think Mikel Arteta only recently said that you need about 5 centre-backs, I believe it was, to be challenging for those positions. So I believe that with the players that are going to be, moved out during the course of the summer, I don't think the likes of Callum Chambers is in Mikel Arteta's plans. So Mustafi's going to go at the end of the season. Socrates looks like he's gone this month. So, yeah, I'd say that, the balance is there. Louis going as well. So, yeah, things will start to be a little bit more clearer. I see talk this week from Arteta about Mustafi. And that at the moment, he's going to be here till the summer. And it was very evident from what he was saying and reading between the lines is that if they could, they would get rid of him this month. But given the fact that David Luiz has had a lot of injuries this season and he's always available, not available and whatnot, Saliba's gone on loan. Socrates is going. Callum Chambers has not played a Premier League game for over a year. It really only leaves Rob Holding as our main right-sided centre-back. So he's looking at it and thinking, right, we're going to make a loss on Mustafi anyway. What we paid for him, we're never getting back. It's a loss. So if we try and sell him now, what are we really going to get for Mustafi? Let's be real about it. Peanuts. You know that. So do you, but do you cut your nose off to spite your face? Because let's just say we do have a couple of injuries like we did, you know, at the start of the season when every centre-back seemed to get injured. And then you need somebody to call upon.
I'll take it. I'll take the peanuts because you still got, right? You still got enough centre-backs there, and you can even shove a, you know, worst come to the worst, you could even say to somebody like Xhaka, drop back in there. I'd take the money. Even if it was 4 million or 3 million, I'll take it.
Nah, look, it's a couple of months now, Robbie. It's literally it's not long till the end of the season, and it's done, and Mustafi's gone. So, you know, it's one of them.
Yeah, as I was just saying though, looking ahead, do you look at that and think to yourself, Saliba comes back, experienced, ready, up for it. Holding, we know they've given a contract. He's looking decent now. And then, as I said, Mari and Gabriel on the other side. I just think that's, you're right. Maybe add one more. I'd add one more person that is like an experienced defender. Yeah. You got David Luiz there, and maybe could be that person.
Not that experienced.
Yeah, but somebody's. You know what I mean? I just think if you've got four that are probably you're going to be your, you know, out of those four, your starters, then one other just a rugged Premier League ready defender who can come and slot in every now and again. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
looking ahead to that looks decent. But I wanted to ask a question today. Obviously, we had that boring, and we'll touch a bit on that boring game the other night against Crystal Palace, 0-0. And, you know, again, some fans have been very upset about the performance. I was looking at it and thinking to myself, well, you know what? We have, though, over the last 5 games we've played, we've won 4, drawn 1. That's not bad. You know what I mean? Ordinarily, you wouldn't even moan about that. You'd be like, oh, it was a poor performance against Palace, but it's a point. We move on. Yeah, I mean, it's just been really, it looks worse because of how we started the season. Has Arteta, this is the question, has Arteta turned the corner at Arsenal, or did he just get lucky? Because I was chatting to a fan yesterday, he's like, Robbie, he just got lucky, you know what I mean? He never meant to bring in Smith Rowe. He never meant to play that sort of formation. It's only because Willian was out and Gabriel was sick. He would never have played Mari. It's all lucky. He had nothing to do with him and fell upon it and then just started to roll with it, and that's got him results. But had it not been for that, he would have persisted on with Willian. He would have persisted on with everything he's been doing this season, and, you know, probably he'd have got the sack. And there are a lot of fans that are still out there that, you know, you saw it after the Palace game. A lot of fans coming out and see, told you, everybody's getting gassed over a win over Chelsea and, you know, a win over West Brom. Yeah, who the Wales West Brom? But as soon as we came up against another decent team, nothing. So what is it? What's the verdict for you? Turn the corner, or has he just got lucky?
Well, first of all, they come out of their holes, just like I knew they would. We all knew that was going to happen.
Here he goes again.
What I will say is, it's about being reactionary. Now, I'm going to try and break down so many little things because there's so many.
Wait a minute. Just before you get to breaking down, you can't say people have come out of their holes.
Yeah,
it's their opinion.
No.
It's their opinion.
I will get to it. And I've said this countless times, and I don't know how many times I need to make this clear. You can have an opinion, and you can want the manager out. There's a certain section that are desperate for these results so that they can continue spewing the bullshit that they spew. That's as simple as that. Now, what I want to break down
about you under Wenger, though.
I'm going to break it down.
All right, break it down.
Arsene Wenger was failing for years and years and years. This was not one bad season, a couple of bad results. This was a continuation of a downward spiral, something that we're still trying to address to this day. We're still trying to get rid of some of those high-priced mistakes that we made. We've just been talking about Mustafi. There's one of them alone. You know, so many players that were brought into this club and were simply not good enough. Now, Mikel will have his own thoughts on those players who might be good, who might not be. But the comparison between me and the Wenger thing is completely and utterly just a pointless argument. You're just using it for the sake of it to try and go at me when the comparisons are completely different. And Mikel's like, not, what's the word? Like, he is accountable for some of the things that have gone on. We don't deny that. You can call the manager out when he does things wrong, and you can praise him when it's right. Just like Arsene Wenger, you can go and watch countless videos. I remember there was one I was doing with you, and I turned around and said about Arsene Wenger getting the team selection spot on, and you pretended to pass out. And was like, are you all right? Are you all right? Because the fact is that my first thoughts were for the good of Arsenal Football Club, and that's what I felt was right. And when he did things right, I praised him. When it was wrong, I criticised. But these people that I speak about, when we win some games, not a thing, not a word, silence. The moment a result don't go our way, bang, there they are.
But maybe
on their cheese. You know, the rat trap's not worked. They've got their cheese, all nibbling away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but maybe it's that, right? When we've won a few games, they're sort of sitting back and saying, oh, "Okay, all right, let me see let me see if actually he really has turned the corner."
It's not that. It's not that. It genuinely isn't that. And let me get this straight as well for people that, because I know a lot of people like to bring names into the fold to try and create some kind of drama between me and somebody else, right? What I'm speaking about and who I'm speaking about has nothing to do with Troops, for example. Like, I don't agree with Troops' opinion on Arteta and his thoughts and everything else. I personally believe, considering I've known him for a long enough time now, is that he gets so emotional and so caught up in Arsenal because I know how much he loves the club, that I feel that sometimes he reacts in a way that he kind of regrets, but doesn't really show that he regrets it. So I'm kind of I've got no problem with him. So I don't want anybody to turn what we're speaking about now into, oh, Troops, look what DT said about you. Because I see it the other week when I had a go at Troops about the Arteta out t-shirts and stuff. I messaged him. I spoke to him privately. I sent a message to him to say my thoughts and my opinion. And I told him that I thought it was wrong. But people instantly went straight to him and go, oh, DT's been making videos of you and blah, 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 blah. And fair play to him. He didn't react to that. He went, let me go and have a look, watch the videos, and we're like, yeah, people are chatting shit. He ain't actually said anything bad. He's just expressing his opinion and his concern for me as a friend. So there's people out there, Robbie, that genuinely just sit and wait for a result to go wrong. You know?
So you think there's some people there that no matter what Arteta does, they got an agenda against him. They're not gonna. Because I look at the game against Palace the other night, and as I said, I think under normal circumstances, I mean, we've drawn with them. I think 4 out of the last 5 occasions we've played them. They're one of those teams that every time we play them, they're a tough nut to crack, right? So under normal circumstances, we would have still have moaned because that's what we're football fans. So we would still have moaned about the performance. We would still have moaned about certain things, but we would have probably by the next day said, it's a point, man. You know what I mean? At least we didn't lose. And actually, you could look at that game against Crystal Palace and say, earlier on in the season, we'd have lost. We wouldn't even be talking about a point. We would have lost that game. We didn't lose the game. So that is, in a way, kind of, again, progress under Mikel Arteta. But there's some fans that are still like, no. And like you said, they're entitled to their opinion. And
of course,
they're, I've heard a few fans say this. I've done been doing live shows and things like that, and heard a few fans say this, that the manager just got lucky. The Smith Rowe thing, lucky. He had no intention of really bringing in Smith Rowe. He's playing Willian and Pepe, and he had no intention of bringing Smith Rowe. Got lucky through a bit of injuries and that. No intentions of bringing in Murray. Murray's been here, he's been playing. All right, he's injured. He had no intention of bringing him in. He was forced into it and then realised that, hey, you know.
Not really, Robbie, because Smith Rowe and Murray were both injured for the majority of this season. So he couldn't have used them in any case. We already know about Smith Rowe's continuation of injuries, and it's knock after knock, and he's only now just got this bit of consistency
he's been back for most of the season, isn't it? And
no, but he's not been match fit. He's not been match fit. He's not match ready. He's still a kid. He's not got Premier League experience behind him or anything like that. Reason why we sent him on loan to Huddersfield and stuff is to try and gain experience and an understanding of playing.
But had it not have been for the fact that Willian got sick, I think it was him and Gabriel. I remember they were ill, or him and Louise, they were ill. Had it not have been for that, a lot of people say.
But you say that, Robbie, because
I wouldn't have been playing. He wouldn't have. He didn't look on it. He didn't look on it and say to himself, "Oh, you know what? Let me try Smith Rowe, man. Let me try something different." Bit like what some of the fans have been saying, you know, throw Balogun in. He's not.
No, because the game that he threw Smith Rowe in was against Chelsea. Nobody expected Smith Rowe to start. Loads of other people could have played in that position other than Smith Rowe. Could have played Saka in that role. You could have played Lacazette, drop deeper into that role. There were so many names that could have started that game ahead of Emil Smith Rowe. Nobody in their previews, predictions, 1 to 11s, even had a thought of Smith Rowe starting that Chelsea game. But Mikel obviously sat there and went, you know what, I'm going to give him his chance. Sometimes you've got to make your own luck as well. But then you go and look at the performances. Was the way we played against Chelsea luck? Was the way that we were passing, moving and doing all the right things luck? The way we played against West Brom and the goals that we scored, was that luck? You know, you can criticise West Brom, but then you're the same people that were sitting there going, wow, what an amazing result by West Brom at Anfield. Wow, what an amazing result by West Brom at the Etihad. You pick and choose to suit your arguments. You know, when you beat a team like West Brom, it's only West Brom, they're crap. But then they just drew at Anfield. And then it's the Sam Allardyce effect. Make your mind up. You know, Brighton, we know how difficult a place it is to go. You know, Manchester United are sitting top of the league. And they needed, you know, the referee to allow a penalty after the game had finished to win that game against Brighton. So it's a difficult place, but we ground it out. 4 clean sheets in a row. What is that, luck? Every team needs a bit of luck along the way. When you win league titles, Robbie, yeah, and we're talking about the days when we had titles and stuff like that, they say that you need consistency and you need luck. Luck can be many things. Injuries. You know, Liverpool's a prime example right now. Last season, or the last couple of seasons, when they won the Champions League and the Premier League, they've had a lot of luck in terms of their key players have not had big injuries. The likes of Mane, Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Alisson, all these big players have been able to play throughout the majority of the season. And you need that if you're going to be a top team. You need that luck. Come to this season, Liverpool have lost Alisson for spells. They've lost Van Dijk for the season. That luck is not there this season in terms of the injuries. So that's what I'm trying to say. You have to make your own luck. And it's just a weak argument to sit there and see us win. How can you not look at those fans' point of view and not sit there and come to the conclusion that they have an agenda? We're winning games and instantly they're not looking at it and going, you know what, that was a good performance today. You know what, I'll give Mikel credit for that, actually. That was a good team set up, the way we played, the shape, etc., etc. They instantly go, I got lucky. Oh, it's only because of that we did that. They're finding an excuse to continually blame him. People are not understanding this. This is what my problem is. They're finding an excuse constantly. You're not enjoying the moment. You're not enjoying the victory. You're not looking at certain games and going, do you know what? That was really good. I really like that. Instantly, it's, yeah, you know what? Smith Rowe was excellent today, but we got lucky. He wouldn't have played if it wasn't for Willian. There's always a but. There's always an excuse. And this is my issue. This is my issue. These same people, not everybody, but certain sections that I'm trying to allude to, are quiet. Quiet. They were the loudest people when we were on this awful run. We beat Chelsea. Silence. Quiet. And you just know, and you just can already tell that the moment something doesn't happen, something goes wrong, they're waiting to pounce. And that's why I refer to these people as rats, because they're literally there looking at that cheese in the trap, and they're looking at it, and they're looking at it, and they're looking at it, and they're ready to pounce. And every now and then that trap is broken so they can snatch their cheese and run away. That's what these people are. That's why I refer to them as rats.
Oh, you, man.
Do you know what I mean? Because they are rodents. They are rodents.
No, but
people...
but I think let's be real now, right? If you're a person and you're an ardent person that you're like, you know, I've seen what I've seen of Arteta, and for me, he's not the one. Then Arsenal win a few games. Then you're as I said, you're kind of then saying, all right, let me see if this is a one-off, or let me see if he's actually can string a few. Let's get a run going, and then maybe I might reassess my thoughts on it. Maybe I might look on it and say to myself, actually, I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, after a couple of games of doing well, we then have another performance that reminds that person of why they come to their conclusion in the first place. And then they say, you know what? Actually, I just realized that he just had a little lucky run, but it's the same old, same old.
But again,
people can think like that. Come on, be real.
No,
you can.
No, but again, you're sitting there and you're dismissing what we've just done over the last 2-3 weeks.
It's not dismissing it. That's not being a rat.
It is because you just sat there and said, oh, it's only a lucky run. It's only a lucky run.
No.
The reality is this, Robbie, listen, the reality is this. Our last 5 games, we've won 4, we've drawn 1. Only Manchester United and Manchester City have a better inform than us over the last 5 games in all competition, yeah? Now, 4 wins, 1 draw, and immediately as soon as we have that 1 draw, you get our own fans, all right, insulting Mikel Arteta already. That he's on work experience, he's rubbish, get rid of him, Pep's co-man, all this kind of nonsense. And I'm sitting there going, really? 4 wins out of 5, 1 draw, and immediately you're not giving him a chance to try and change your mind. You're just being quiet until there's 1 stumble, and then bang, you're back on his neck. Some,
but not all, because I as I said, right, I'd be like, for me, right, so I'm looking at it, right, and up until that Chelsea game, I'm looking at it thinking, yo, you know what, if Arteta don't start getting, like, over this next few games, man, if he don't start turning this around, and this was my opinion, yeah, I'm like, he don't start turning it around, man, we need to start looking at someone else.
Whoa.
What are you doing?
Wait.
They've come for you.
They come for me. I'm using my phone today, man.
They've come for you.
I get a better angle. Do you see it? Jesus Christ. You know what it was? I bashed my table. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like the rats are nibbling away at the legs on my table.
But I'm saying, right, I'd look on it and I'd be like, you know, Arteta, he needs to do something now, man. He needs to start. Then we got to the Chelsea game. And I'm like, I like that. Because me, I'm a person sometimes, I don't just look at the result. I look at the performance. I like that performance. I saw a team there that were hungry. I saw a team on that pitch that they were all playing for the manager. There's a lot of people saying that people are down tools and that. I'm like, nah, I'm looking at this game. They're playing for him. Then the next set of games, good performances, confidence back. I'm like, well, actually, Nah, give him the money in January. Let him go and strengthen. Give him time. Definitely give him time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you do sometimes you need to assess it, and then even like a few games of winning, you still got to assess. Like I'm looking at the team in the Palace game the other day, and I'm like, again, I'm questioning Arteta a bit, not in what went on the pitch, and I'm not just questioning Arteta. I'm questioning the board because I'm like, yeah, they're kind of quick. And I've been saying this to people, even though Smith Rowe's doing well, we still need a creative player. And we should still be getting that creative player in January.
Yeah, we should. We know that. We've had this discussion.
All of a sudden, we get 4 wins. The suggestion is, we wait till the end of the season. This, that, is people turning their nose up at certain players that we can get on loan. And I'm like, no. What if Smith Rowe gets injured? What if Smith Rowe has a game when he's shackled up? What's the option off the bench? Mm-hmm. So I assess it like that. So
yeah,
I mean, listen, yeah, I hear what you say when, you get fans that as soon as they lose the game, a bag of insults and, yeah,
And we didn't even lose the game. We didn't even lose the game. Yeah. That's the biggest thing about it. And I've said this to you, Robbie, that this is my biggest issue, yeah, is that you're quiet when there's victories, so you don't even have the balls to be able to turn around and back him because you feel that it might actually, ruin your own persona and your own beliefs, and everyone will go, well, hold on a minute, but you were Arteta out. How can you back him? And it's, again, I'll allude to something that Troop said on one of his tweets, and I commented on it. And he said that he's still Arteta out, but he will give him till the end of the season and then he will assess it again. And that's a fair assessment because I look at that and I say, you know what? Okay, cool. I can't change your mind about being Arteta out. That's cool. That's your belief. And yeah, you might say the odd things along the way, but I've known you long enough to know that's you. But you're giving him to the end of the season because you want him to succeed. I know for a fact that Troops would love nothing more than to sit there and go, you know what? Hold my hands up, man. Arteta proved me wrong. I'm sorry. He would love it. I said it to you countless times, and Troop said it to you countless times when we were Wenger out. We want nothing more than to Arsene Wenger to turn it around and become the Arsene Wenger from the Invincibles, 98, and everything else all over again. I would love nothing more than to have egg on my face and be completely wrong. But we believe we wasn't. So it's not that's my issue. It's the ones that just keep quiet. And then what they're doing is that they're just spreading poison throughout the fan base. And the moment we don't get a result, Robbie, I already know how awful it's going to be. I don't even want to just, like, for example, yeah, as soon as the game finished, right, I put up a tweet after the game and I turned around and said, a draw on reflection was a fair result, which is... It was.
It was a fair result.
It was. Instantly, what did I get? See the levels of Arsenal now and their fans. Have a look. This is the levels that our fans have stooped to and why we're not going anywhere, because fans like DT hold us back because they accept to draw. At what point did I say I accept to draw, you fucking prick? Not once did I say I accept to draw. Excuse my language.
The thing is, the reality of it was a fair point. They're not no mugs, Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace went to Old Trafford and beat Man United this season, right? And as you said, there's been results. That doesn't matter. It's not a matter of you're saying you're dropping down to a certain level. You know what I mean? When teams like West Brom, like when West Brom went to Liverpool and they got their point, they deserved that point. Doesn't mean that you're dropping your level to them. I saw a game the other night when Fulham went to Tottenham.
Yeah.
They probably deserved more than a point in the end. The way the first half, it was Tottenham, it was all Tottenham. Second half, Fulham. Wow, the way they played, man.
Yeah.
They were excellent. They deserved at least a point. So if a Tottenham fan said after that, well, you know what, come on, they deserved a point. And people accuse him of dropping down to Fulham's level. No, you're just being honest. You've got to sometimes show the respect that is due to another team. I respected Palace's performance the other night because they were well drilled, well organised, and they are a serious what they are, Palace, yeah. They're very well organised at the back, and they get teams jittery because you know that if you make an error in your attack and you lose that ball, they are very, very good on the counter attack and coming forward with very tricky players, right? So you become a bit jittery. What a team like Palace does is that you get in two minds of things. You're like, I don't want to go too gun ho here, man, because these men, if I lose this ball, give it away cheaply, and they're on the counter attack, man, they'll make us pay.
Yeah, and there was a couple of moments in the game where they nearly did that to us, where they nearly caught us on the counter.
This is football, man. This is football. I mean, I saw during the week, you know what I mean, Bayern Munich lose to a second division team in the Bundesliga, in the cup. You know what I mean? This is football if you're not on your game. So, just going back to what you're saying there. So basically, you're saying then that there are some fans basically that want the team that right now under Mikel Arteta would be happy for the team to lose then.
Yeah, I'm 100% adamant. I'm 100% adamant on it. I've seen enough to see
you think
what is being said.
You think there's some people that would be like, they're an Arsenal fan, but they just so that Arteta would leave.
Yeah.
They would be, I can't believe that someone would be, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to.
100%. 100%.
They're watching the game. That they're watching the game and they're like, you know what? I want us to lose tonight so that Arteta can get out. You think that?
100%. 100 million%.
I can't believe that would be.
I'm adamant on it. 100% adamant on it. Trust me. Oh.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't. No, I don't think so.
In my mind,
I think this guy.
In my mind, I would never have ever thought this because I was accused of stuff like this when Wenger was in charge. All right, but the one difference with me is that I openly, as I've said, come out and told, you know, when he did things right, I would openly praise the man when he does things right.
I will back you up, right? I saw you at games. I saw how hurt you were at defeats. I remember you used to do your vlogs so we could see your reactions throughout the games. You wanted the team to win. I can't believe that there'd be somebody sat at home, as we all are at the moment, and be thinking to himself, you know, I hope we lose tonight, man. Get that Arteta out. I hope we look. No. No, I don't think they're going to games. No, I'm not going to have that, DT. They're not going into games wanting us to lose. You know, they might have an agenda against the manager where they're just like, I'm just not having this manager. He's just not for me. I want him out. But
by any means necessary. Because they want him out that bad. The only way that he's going to go is if the results are bad.
Hey? DTX. Your DTX. By any means necessary.
Yeah, by any means necessary. Yeah, DTX. Yeah. Jesus Christ, man.
Oh.
But at the end of the day, look, and I know, like, this is why I try not speaking about the subject too much on socials and stuff and that, because people are very, very quick to instantly just try and make the comparisons to me and Wenger. I get the same thing all the time. It's like, oh, but you made your name from Arsenal failing or this, that, the other. And it's like, look, some people seem to think that I was a bum before I went on AFTV and people knew who I was. And it's like, look, it's not, this is not my life. This is like, Arsenal is my passion and what I used to go to. It's been bloody nearly a year now since we've been to a game. Do you know what I mean? We never thought that in March when we went to West Ham. Or, I was going to say, went to Portsmouth away. You didn't even go to that one. So when was your last game before that away from home? Do you see what I mean? Do you know, that's how long it is.
What was the game before that away from home?
I can't even remember. It was that long ago. Normally, when you go every week, you could sit there and go, yeah, we went to here, we went to there. Oh, do you remember we got stuck on the M6 and didn't get in till 4 o'clock in the morning? Fuming. And then it's like, now you just lose track of everything because this has become normal. But, you know, I'm not listening to all these comparisons and stuff because, like I said, the comparisons between Arteta and Wenger are completely irrelevant because Wenger had been there for a number of years and he was taking us down year on year on year on year, backwards. Mikel Arteta is in his first full season as manager. And some of the issues that he's trying to repair are the issues that were there under Arsene Wenger. They were there under Freddie Ljungberg for a very short period. They were there under Unai Emery. And they're now there under him. So I've said this all along, and I've said this on countless podcasts. Give him till the end of this season. Let him get a full season under his belt. Let's see, you know, what players he can bring in and what players he can shift. And then the most important will be at the end of this season, because we already knew or know that all of these players that are on high wages and simply not contributing, Ozil, Socrates and everything else, they're gone regardless. There's no ifs, buts or maybes. The contracts are expired. They're done. This is a massive opportunity for Arsenal to rebuild as a club. You know, rebuild the whole structure, rebuild the wage structure, which is the most important thing as well, because it was scandalous, man. The wages were scandalous. It was, you know, champagne money, but lemonade football. Do you know what I mean? And it's so, yeah. And then obviously the news this week as well that we're bringing in Richard Garlick as well from the FA. That's going to work closely with Arteta and taking over from, you know, ARSCRY. But there's loads going on behind the scenes. Can you, honestly, given the pandemic and everything as well, how many backroom changes has we made as a football club in the last year? Ridiculous amount. So, but that's what I'm saying. So there's just way too many, man. Way too many issues, way too many problems. And yeah.
We got a game coming up on Monday.
I wonder what. You know what? I was just looking at you and thinking, hold on a minute, he's talking now and I can't hear anything. Do you know what? Put it back on mute. That was brilliant.
we got a game on Monday against Newcastle. That again will be similar. Low blocks, defending, hard to break down. Remember, when we played them in the FA Cup, we did not break them down in 90 minutes. That would have been another draw.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
A problem in breaking down teams. We need to number one transfer with.
Our problem's low blocks, and it has been all season. And I said this to you,
we need a creative player.
Yeah, well, I said this to you in my interview after the game against Crystal Palace, and I said that teams now, unless you're one of these, you know, sides like your Chelsea, Liverpool, City, United, etc., every team's going to come to the Emirates and go low block. City,
so what do we do about it? What do we do about it on Monday?
Oh.
How do we beat that low block?
First and foremost, we need to bring Thomas Partey in from the start, and we need to bring Gabriel Martinelli. First and foremost, they're two players that can help crack that low block.
Who dropped out for Martinelli?
Aubameyang for me. On recent performances, Aubameyang. Partey's an easy one. Take out Danny Ceballos and put him there next to Granit Xhaka. And I feel that Partey and Martinelli are two players that can unlock those blocks. You know, they get into spaces and pockets that the teams that set in low blocks don't like. You know, they hate those areas. There's little areas within the pitch. Smith Rowe was not able to get into those areas. And I watched the game back against Palace, and yeah, mate.
Well done for that.
Yeah, because what what I did was I watched the second half, because the second half was very much Palace saying, sit, don't move, and if we get a counter, great. But let's sit. And I wanted to look at it to see how we were trying to break it down. And Smith Rowe, wherever he went, he had a man tracking him. And he never allowed him those pockets. But what happened was that behind Smith Rowe, and kind of, should we say, in that 10, we joked about the other week about the referee being in that position where we want a player to be.
Yeah.
The referee was again in that position where we needed somebody, because they were tracking Smith Rowe. And when Partey come on, we started to dive into those areas, and it started to get a little bit more what we needed, but it was too little too late, and it was just too tough to break Crystal Palace down. What you need ultimately against low blocks is an early goal.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
Early
You get
goal,
that.
and you also need width.
Oh.
You need width, and obviously Tierney missing. That was a big miss, and we did. And the other thing you need is bravery.
Martinelli's got
Right?
that. Martinelli.
Yeah, you're right. Martinelli does have that, because you need bravery. You can't just keep saying, right, I could run into that area, but there's two players there. All right, let me just pass it back into the midfield.
Yeah, risk losing the ball.
And we start again. Yeah, you've got to say to yourself, I'm going to try and take these two guys on.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to do something different this time.
Commit them. Do something different.
That's severely lacking. That's one thing under Mikel Arteta. I want to see him encouraging players more to do, right? Because I didn't see that. I didn't see even Pepe, who normally would try and take a player on, was going safety first. So to break down the low blocks, it's going to take, sometimes it takes a bit of magic. And the other thing that's required is shots from outside the box.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to shoot outside that box.
No. It's like they're scared.
So these are all things that are required if you're going to break down these low blocks. And we all know that Newcastle, that's how they play. They were even defensive the other day against Sheffield United.
Yeah, I know. I'll tell you, before this season started, I'd never heard low blocks before. And now it's all a bloody here. It's like low blocks, low blocks, low blocks. And it's like, when you go to these teams away from home, they don't really set up with low blocks because they're the home team and they have to be a bit more expansive. And then
Newcastle they play like that.
Yeah, Newcastle do. But I said this the other day to you. I think that we could be the final nail in Steve Bruce's coffin, because the Geordies are fuming about him to the point where Mike Ashley, do you know what? I don't think he will crack. I think he's about as durable as these mugs that he gives away every time you buy something in his shop. Them humongous jumbo things are about this big that nobody drinks a cup of tea out of. It's like, come on, man. But we need to get an early goal in this game. And the team lineup's going to be important. And I'm looking at the left back position, for example. And, if Tierney is out, play Saka left back. Play him left back. All right. It's not ideal. We might lose him in that other sense, but needs must. I would rather have a natural left-footed player with, width and ability to do something in the final third. He's played there. He plays there for England. So needs must. If Tierney's going to be out for whatever it might be, he might even be back. We don't know. But if he's out, play Saka there. I understand why Maitland-Niles can play that position if we're playing against a Liverpool or a Manchester City. And there's a certain style that you've got to do.
Yeah, most of your work is defensive.
Yeah, but in a sense, you say it's defensive, but there's
but when he played in
the creative thing, that's what I mean.
When he played in those games and he done so well, most of his work
was defensive
duty, right?
Not attacking.
Right. And then when we saw the other night against Palace, right from the start of the game, he done a great. We know he's got the pace and power, but then the delivery.
It's dreadful.
It was dreadful.
It went out for a goal kick.
Yeah, and delivery from both flanks was poor, and we've got to address that if we're going to break down these low block teams. And also, delivery has to be brilliant.
Yeah, well, this is the thing.
What Kieran Tierney's been doing in the past few games.
Mate, he's been exceptional. You realise just how good he is now he ain't there. And that's the thing. So I'm just praying it's nothing. It is nothing bad, and he is back and available. If not for this one, the next one. But if he isn't, then Saka goes there for me. Saka goes there. And Partey has to come in, and Martinelli has to come in.
Okay, give me a prediction for the game.
I do think we'll win, and I'll go for a 2-0.
Yeah, I agree. I'm agreeing on a 2-0. I think it's going to be a very similar game to what we've had against Palace. Maybe it's good that we've had that game, because maybe now we know what to work on to try and break a team like that down. Sometimes you're better off playing a similar type of team the game before, rather than you're playing a team that's all attack and then you come up against, that's a bit like what happened at Palace. And then all attack West Brom, all attack, and then you come up against a team that just sits, and it's very difficult. But I'll go 2-0 as well. Well, DT, thank you very much for today.
Pleasure.
Go and get some cheese. And
mate, I'll get some cheese. I'm just a side man, so it's all right. It's all good. It's lovely, isn't it? But listen, man, we move on, man. I'm bringing, mate. We're not even I can't even do the watch-alongs at the minute, man, because I'm shielding and everything. But next time I'm in, I'm bringing a cheese board. Man's coming in with a cheese board, bruv. I'm making it like half time in the box at the Emirates. Judges is going to be loving life. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's it. And Ty, you see him. Keep talking about my 5K. All right? Me and Ty, we need to do a little 5K run together for charity.
Yeah, all right. Let's get that on. Let's
get Ty's little chicken legs working.
All right. As soon as the shielding is done, we are going to do that for charity.
Yeah, we'll do the end of the season, and we've got the time to do it.
Hold on, wait a minute. Why are you now changing the goalposts? I said as soon as the shielding is done.
Yes, and I don't think that will be till the end of the season. No, not my shielding. I mean, like back to normal, because I want to do it properly. The
lockdown will be reduced. We just find a little 5K run, which you'll be allowed to do. Okay, I mean, cool. Boris Johnson rode 7K on his bike. Must be able to find a little field we can walk out 5K, and we do it. You and Ty, right? I tell you, I will put money into that myself to see
little chicken legs. Let's do it. You know what I mean?
All right, we're doing this.
We're doing it. We're gonna do this.
DT, thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and looking forward to that game on Monday. But actually, before I go, don't forget Profit Accumulator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to. The link is in the description. Get involved right now. You can earn yourself some extra cash by using the Profit Accumulator, and you click the link in the description. It's a free trial. They explain exactly how it's done. Thanks for watching the show, and we'll be back next week. Today's show is sponsored by Profit Accumulator, the #1 match betting service in the UK. Match betting is different to gambling. With gambling, you bet on one side, and if that side loses, you lose. With match betting, you bet on both sides. That means no matter what the outcome, you're a winner. When you sign up to Profit Accumulator, they will walk you through the whole process of how to do match betting, and as long as you follow what they tell you, you cannot lose. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description right now for your free trial, and you can start earning some real cash.